Do you remember how enjoyable it was when a dream you had finally came to pass? When your dream came to pass, was life full and sweet? What was one of your dreams that was fulfilled in 2024? One of my dreams that came true in 2024? What was it? Well, of course, it had something to do with a Mustang. Stick with me for just a bit, and I'll share with you what happened, which was years in the making. Welcome to Your First Mustang. This is a podcast designed to celebrate the journey of Mustang ownership. Hello, I'm your host, Gary Neidert. Today I'll be talking about a fulfilled dream of mine that took several years to come to pass, and it finally happened in July of 2024. Now, I want you, what I'm about to say right here, I want you to remember this as we go through this video because it's real important. Hope postponed grieves the heart. But when a dream comes true, life is full and it's sweet. Remember that. Think about that. Think about that when it comes to your fulfilled dream. Now, this story begins several years ago when I wanted a motorcycle, Harley Davidson to be exact. As I started paying more attention to the number of birthdays I kept racking up, I realized if I had a motorcycle and I was injured, the recovery time would take longer as I kept adding digits to my years on this earth. I finally decided not to get a motorcycle for that reason. However, the desire for power, the open road, and wind in my hair, even though it's kind of thinned out, it shifted to something else, a Mustang GT convertible. And this Mustang journey starts with my daughter, just out of high school, working for a car dealership. On her birthday, they let her take home a Mustang GT convertible for the weekend. She let me drive it, and that set the course of me dreaming for a Mustang GT convertible. Now, through the years, I'd casually look online for a Mustang I could buy. However, it just wasn't time to get one yet. As I kept looking at the Mustangs for sale, I just didn't like what I found until 2 or 3 years ago, I was looking on Craigslist and I found a white Mustang GT California Special that was in my price range and looked good. I didn't know what a California Special was, so I did the research on it and I figured, hey, this would be a pretty cool car to have. I called the owner and it sounded like what I wanted. Although he said a guy from out of state would buy it if it was still available when it came to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. For the next couple of days, I hesitated on making a commitment to go look at it, much less call him. I finally called and left a message saying, I want to come look at it. He never called me back. I called that afternoon and late in the day, and he said, the guy from out of state bought it. And I said, well, why didn't you call me back? Well, the guy from out of state bought it. Oh, gosh, you could have at least told me that you sold it. What a bummer. Well, there was another California Special listed about the same time as the white one, but the good thing was it was a little closer to where I lived. But when I called the guy, again, oh man, I just sold it an hour ago. Hope postponed for what seemed like a long time. Then early 2024, I found a white convertible California Special at a car dealership in Houston. but it had almost 150,000 miles. I just wasn't comfortable with going through looking at it. And on top of that, I didn't ask, what's the least you take for it? I didn't talk about money. They just automatically said, we'll take $3,000 or $4,000 off the price. It made me think, well, they came down off the price that quick. I wonder what's wrong with it and why they're trying to dump it. So I didn't do anything with it. More hope postponed, but not for long. Daily, I kept looking for the right car. Now, at the beginning of the summer, I saw a listing at a used car dealer in Oklahoma City. They had a 2008 white GT California Special. That's what I'm looking for. I didn't learn my lesson on the first one. I kept putting off making a call to this guy. Well, I did make a call. When I first saw it, I called and somebody answered, and then I started asking questions and they hung up. I called right back, got the voicemail, left a message, say, call me. They never called me back. So I just kind of blew it off, but I kept looking at that listing. And here a month goes by and the car's still available. After talking about it, my wife, she finally said, just go buy it if it's still available. Well, that's the push I needed. So I made the deal. I went to Oklahoma City with my son-in-law and I drove the Mustang home. So my dream came true and now life is full and sweet. It was worth looking at the online ads and waiting for the right Mustang. Now, my first Mustang, it was a 1979 coupe with a V8, 4-speed, chrome wheels, glass packs, all that good stuff. At the time, it was a dream fulfilled. I had a lot of fun with it. However, my 2008 Mustang seems to be a little bit more special to me. Maybe it's because I had to wait longer for that dream to be fulfilled. What was your dream car? More specifically, what about your dream Mustang? And did you eventually buy it? What was your experience of finding, buying, and enjoying your first Mustang? What about telling your first Mustang story? I want to invite you to share your story with me on my podcast. It's called, What Else? Your First Mustang. What we'll do is record a conversation where you and I talk about your first Mustang and how it all came about. The topics like, why you bought it, treasured memories of owning it, and much more. Would you be open to being a guest on an episode of Your First Mustang? If yes, contact me. Let me know some details about your Mustang experience. In fact, you can put a note down in the notes section here of this video. Check us out on our website, www.yourfirstmustang.com. Or you can find the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and more. And when you do, be sure to like, tag, share, and subscribe. One final thought. You may not have your first Mustang, but you still have the memories. It's time to share them. Contact me if you have any questions regarding today's podcast, or if you'd like to be a guest on Your First Mustang. Send an email to myfirstridePodcast@gmail.com. I'm Gary Neidert, and you've just experienced Your First Mustang. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.